Maybe St. George. One of the two anyway. No, it's not anyway. I'll remember the facts when I reread them. He said, no, we went away. So it was blizzard cold, and he was protecting her. Well, he froze to death. And the men that were there were sorry. And they took him. And they took a rope and a blanket that they needed so much. And they tied him up. And they climbed this tree and hung him in this tree. And they were going to come back in the spring and get him. And the men said, testimony, the men said, I got to intersect here. Ruby said, you know what, Bubba, we belong to the greatest. And she used the word organization on the face of the earth. Mm-hmm. And this driver said, no, the greatest restoration on the face of the earth. She said it is either 100% true or the biggest lie ever perpetrated on the man. He said, sister, we could use you. You want a job? And that's what she was telling these people. Well, anyway, this man said, and went back around because the blizzard was still coming and they could like barely see him. And so they took one last look, and the coyotes and the wolves had already got up that tree, got him down, were beginning to eat him because they were starving. Mm-hmm. They were eating her fiance. There's a lot of things like that happen.
Oh, yeah.
And it's in the Martin's Hand Cove. When you look into their history, they'll tell you they took one last look and he was out of the tree on the ground, and the wolves and the coyotes were fighting because they were starving too. And they were eating them. Mm-hmm. So we walked up this mound. And you walk out, and they have missionaries that'll talk to you. They can't teach nothing about the church. They could just tell you what happened there the minute. And they send people from Bureau of Land Management all the time. The minute they catch one missionary teaching, that's it. You're out of there. The church is out of there. And And so I asked them, why can't you teach? And they said, Bureau of Land Management was afraid that the church would build a temple there. And President Hinckley said, it already is a temple.
It is.
Yep.
Where is it, Zion's Canyon or something?
No, it's Martin's Cove.
Sacred Grove.
Martin's Cove?
Temple.
You know, there's a show.
Beautiful.
But
You have to see it. I'm going to send you the text.
You talk about the willies, you don't want to leave because you just feel like
the world knows about this place.
Many
People are still there.
Yeah,
they're just
there, the
loving you, teaching you,
can feel
hugging
them.
you.
Yeah.
And
Our son went there on a trip.
in the end times, we will build a temple there. Bureau of Land Management will give up, but they're afraid we'll build a temple there.
Well, it's kind of like anywhere like Liberty Jail. Mm-hmm. How Elder Holland called Liberty Jail, where Joseph was in prison. Mm-hmm. Carthage Jail, Liberty Jail.
Both of them.
Can you hear me? No?
Okay. What? Poor Jackie.
So like how Carthage Jail or Liberty Jail, right?
Yeah.
The church has that land, and it's already a temple because of how it's dedicated to the Lord.
Like you said,
land.
Well, sooner or later they're going to relinquish that land to us.
Yeah, Martin's Cove. Oh yeah.
And then it can be
Liberty
dedicated.
Jail.
Liberty
Jail. I want to go there so bad, but he's not able, and I'm not going to go alone.
There's a woman.
They used to have bus tours, and you didn't have to do anything. The bus driver drove. made arrangements for motel rooms.
Yeah.
You just had to have 4 or 5 ladies, and you slept 2 in a bed. And
Where's Martin's Cove?
Where is
Martin's
that?
Cove?
Ask her.
kind of like,
Wyoming. It's Martin's Cove in Wyoming.
say it again.
Is Martin's Cove
No.
Wyoming?
No.
Yeah,
Oh.
just right there outside.
Because
Well,
our
this is
son
how
went
it
there
all
on a
started.
trip.
When my grandmother
with his war,
died.
with his people in his state.
Okay,
And he
good.
wouldn't go to Wyoming. He lives in Arizona.
Okay, your grandmother died.
We had already made arrangements to go to Education Week in Ruby.
Iowa, maybe?
So Granny died.
No.
We had her funeral.
I don't know. I'm not sure now.
Council Bluff,
And
Iowa.
didn't we go that week, me and Ruby?
Okay.
So right after the funeral, we packed our bags and we took off for my family's in Wyoming.
Yeah.
My grandmother's family. She had 16 brothers and sisters. They were all Catholic. Granny's the only. They pray for her. I mean, oh, they have mass for my grandmother that she would come to her senses.
Because she's
Because she's a member of the church, and the 15 are still Catholic. And she'd go back there and say, why do you go to Mass on Saturday? She said, the Sabbath day. Why do you go on Saturday? Now the Catholics, you can go to church on
Yeah.
Saturday. And I
Yeah.
said, why? She said, because we do things on Sunday. She said, and you talk about me going to hell? She's telling all of her brothers and sisters. I said, you didn't. She said, yes, I did. Because they wanted to go do something on Sunday.
That's funny.
That's cute. My grandma won't
So-
do that.
Hey, I've gone to mass at
She
5
was
a.m. in
this
the morning.
little
That's the beautiful
German
thing about
Jewish
that being
pioneer.
available. Because when I'm
She
working in the police
reached
department on
one
Sundays,
nephew.
nothing's open
He
at
left
5
the
a.m.
church,
And I'm about to
Catholic
report
church.
at 6
joined the
o'clock.
church
and I'm able to go to
in
mass at 5 a.m.
Oh, wow.
And it
Washington.
was so beautiful.
Washington
I had a guy
State.
from Denmark,
Just him. Oh,
and that was the priest speaking,
Oh,
and it was
she
so
did.
beautiful.
one.
And I got to
So-
record the audio of it. and
That's
it was-
okay. We've done all their temple work for
Absolutely
everybody that
beautiful.
passed away.
So that's why it's like
All
you
of her
just- the more
brothers and
you
sisters I've got
learn to
them
respect
all.
and love so many
every bit
different
of them.
religions, you learn how
Yeah,
much
beautiful.
goodness
So,
being
and I told them, listen,
a
I'll tell you,
child
when
of
you
God,
pass
need
through
to-
the veil, it's going to be
you need
quicker
to
than
live
you
it. You
think.
can't-
They said, no, we have to
push
go through purgatory. And I said, I
prod.
don't think so.
Jesus didn't push or prod.
When you go through the
Yeah,
veil,
it's just a
I'm telling
beautiful
you,
thing.
you're going to see missionaries that are
I
going to
know
have
that the missionaries are
tag.
getting better about that too.
If you see them
Oh,
with
and I
their
didn't-
name
okay,
plates
move on.
and it's the veil of our sister, they said, listen, if I die and go through this veil, what they call it, a veil, like the chapel, you know, they wear veils too. In some of their, I'm going,
Mhm.
now the Catholic churches, we have so many convert Catholics, it's incredible, because it's a lot alike.
Yeah.
But opposite.
But opposite.
Yeah.
So anyway,
But it is
Yeah,
a lot.
we
I
go
think
through
I
this-
think the one
Love the
biggest
color,
difference
the sound
between
and
of
we
it.
see
It's
anybody
just-
that says Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and they have white shirts and pants. I said, they'll be smiling at you. I said, okay. This one cousin said, if they smile at me, I'll listen. You'll listen to it all and not go but. She said, I'll listen.
If they smile. Gotta remember
That was
smiling.
Tess. Well, Tess is my cousin, and she's was in the army for a long time. Beautiful young girl. She died of COVID because they wouldn't give her that ivermectin. They were doing a study on her in Wyoming, and she passed away. So,
evil people.
anyway,
She's where she's
her mother.
she's doing a hard work though.
She's my second cousin.
She's
Her
where she
mother
is
is
now.
my cousin. My grandma's sister's daughter. So she's my cousin. Anyhow, she goes, Melva, she's Catholic. She said, you know, I'm never going to stop praying for you and holding mass. And she said, I love you. And she said, I want you to do something for me, just in case. And I said, what's that? She said, do I have to sign something? For what? And she said, for a test. I said, for what? I'm like, I don't know.
To do my temple work.
She gave me permission
To do her
to
temple
do
work.
Tessa's temple work because
Yes!
Tess said it doesn't.
It doesn't
she said,
hurt.
Mom, it may not be right, but it doesn't feel wrong.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I just did my uncle who died of AIDS. He was a homosexual.
Yeah, my uncle was
He
too.
died when it was the saddest thing. He had a relationship with a girl,
There's so
and then she broke it off so fast, it just broke his heart. So he rebounded, and he told me that. He said I should never have gone to that nightclub, and I should never have met the guy, but I just thought, oh, everybody's doing it. So he fell into this decision. He worked on old classic cars. He worked for the Edison Company. He was awesome, but he contracted AIDS and died at age 33. I was asked to sing at his funeral. And when I prepared my song, I was in the special room at the Forest Lawn Mortuary, and I saw him. I could feel his presence spiritually.
That's where my uncle
When I
was.
looked at myself in the mirror, it was a big, long, oval mirror, and he was standing right beside me, and I could feel his spirit there. And I said, David, I feel your presence. And I knew from then on, he wanted me to sing that song, but there was more I would do. This last September, just before Willie died, my Uncle Bob died. My Uncle Bob had a wonderful marriage with Aunt Mary. Aunt Mary is my uncle's sister. When Bob died, I had the same feeling. I had to be perfect about the song. I practiced for over 12 hours to get the song right because I was going to play a piano piece. It wasn't right, and suddenly I just kept feeling like he wants a certain song, I don't know what. So Jacqueline and Jocelyn, they gathered together and said, we'll sing with you. I found my favorite. I said, let's just
During a
play
power
this
outage.
favorite song. It was a power outage. I couldn't pull out my electric piano all day long. That power outage was over 12 hours. That was unreal. But anyway, so I couldn't practice the song. I was planning to take the electric piano up to Vegas. They live in Henderson. But because I couldn't practice on it, I was practicing on the regular piano without electricity. So I pulled out an old song that I love by Michael McLean, and it's called Gentle. And we started singing it, and as soon as we sang it, we recorded it because they couldn't come with me. So I had them as backup voice. I brought my recorder, we played it, I sang it, and at that moment I knew Bob was just smiling like, this is the song. That's the song I want. Just like the way David did it, that's the song I want. What was crazy is I didn't know what to expect until just a week or two later, I got both the names, David and his brother Bud. His name was Frederick, but they call him Bud. Their names came up, and I was able to seal them to their parents. That's why we went to Utah. We went to Utah because the girl that rejected my uncle was able to do his work for him.
Wow.
She felt so guilty. She felt so guilty that she'd broken his heart and then ended up dying over AIDS because of a rebound. So she felt healing because she was able to do that. The other cousin felt healing because she was able to step in while these two brothers were being sealed to their parents, their grandparents.
I have an uncle.
And I'm not even related except distantly. Like I'm Willie's cousin. I'm Willie Dunn's 8th cousin. You know how we're connected?
We're
To
connected
a reverend,
somehow,
a
okay?
colonial reverend in Rhode Island. Yes, we're connected too.
Through my mom. My mom's side of the family.
Yeah.
Have we done the relatives around me here?
I think our biggest
I think we're related to- I know we're related to you.
accomplishments in the end time is
Yeah.
missionary work and gathering our family and getting the work to those are the biggest two.
Salvation is a
And
personal
Mildred?
matter.
Yeah.
Exaltation
Because on the
is
other
a
side of the
family
veil, I
matter.
feel it. Yeah. I
And
feel like I
all
have
of
two
us
very
are
solid men
family.
on the other side of the veil now. Because Aunt Mary, she's lost
All
her
of us.
husband. She lost her brother years ago, but she shared with me, she said, I
I
gotta
hope I
come
go
back
to
to church
Korea.
now. I gotta come back to
I
church.
have so many friends in
I
Korea.
have to. That brother of mine was like my
Korean
baby,
temple
my own baby
friends.
brother.
Yeah.
And that was
Young
David.
Bin.
He was
She
so
was
much
my
younger.
pianist for my choir.
Bud
When
was
I
her
choir
older
director
brother.
in Hawaii, and we sang in 7 different languages
They-
silent night.
It's gonna
When
happen.
Tess passed
She's
away,
ready.
She was my pianist.
I didn't talk
She's
too
from
much
Korea.
to her sister.
And I had
Francine,
people from
my
Japan
cousin,
and every
my-
everywhere. I do.
My cousin
I've been to
was from
Japan and the Philippines so
But
far.
Francine said
And Guam.
Melva,
But Guam's
Tess
still
was
America.
passed in the mail.
So
That's just
Japan,
so tough like
Philippines.
that. So I'm
Next.
thinking, I'm kidding.
I want to go to
No,
Korea
sir.
and I want to go to
And then
Vietnam.
Tess got
That's
me
always been a thing I want to go to.
a rosary.
They have this amazing bridge. That's
So I didn't know
dragon.
I could accept that.
is the full span of the
So I bought
entire
something.
bridge above the bridge, so it's designed on
She
top.
said, this is
And
what
it
I want
lights
you
up
to
at
do
night.
with it.
And the bridge is
She
over
said,
water, so it's
no,
like got a
My
beautiful
grandmother
reflection.
joined the church
And it
in
breathes
1953.
fire.
Up until that time,
I don't know if it's once a week or some sort of only
I
certain
was going to
occasions it does the
primary
fire,
school,
but
she taught me some Catholic
Cool,
ways.
cool.
And
Cool.
very
she said,
cool.
you know, your grandmother's on here. I'm like, yeah. She said, do you know